Basically, here's what's going on, is that they finally showed footage of the Wind Waker HD, which is coming out in October, and I thought I would talk about some stuff that I noticed because I've played Wind Waker so much, and also I can give the speedrunning perspective on Wind Waker HD. So without further ado, I will play the thing, and I'll pause it when I notice stuff and want to talk about stuff.
Wind Waker and HD graphics are a very good match, and that's why he decided to return to this game world on Wii U. Today, we have prepared this video. Please take a look.
Alright, so Alright, so already, there's already so much to talk about, but basically, yeah, there's fast sailing. They actually go on more into that later, but also, you can see that they have the sail along with 3 items, so there's like 4 items here, which is more than normal, because usually the sail is one of the items. So there's that, and then also there seems to be like key items on top of your regular items. You have like these key items that you would tend to use while sailing, I guess. I also noticed when you're walking around, the Wind Waker is also bound to this D-pad. So it seems to me like they're putting certain items on the D-pad. I'm not sure if you could change these or not. They never show the start menu, so you can't really tell like what's going on with the menus at all for this. But there's like 7 items at once right now, and I'm not sure how many items you will be able to use, but it's interesting. Anyway, like obviously the game looks really nice. However, it seems to me that they are not updating any models or any animations. It's also running at 30 FPS like the original. So it seems to me like it's very much the original game, just upscaled with nice shaders and stuff like that. What really surprised me though is that right here is a really good shot that you can see it, even though there's a little bit of motion blur, but you can see that the polygons on Link's hat, it's the same model from the original game. And I'm really surprised that they didn't actually like update this, because like there's several points in the game where the lighting hits Link's model, and like because of the lower poly count it looks kind of weird. It's a little bit like jagged, and I thought that they would update that for the HD release, but I guess not. So the fact that they're not updating that, you could either say 1, it's lazy, or 2, they're just trying to keep it like as close to the original as possible, and I can dig that, so that's cool. The thing I noticed in this right here is that again it's the same model, everything's like the same models and stuff, but if you look at this shadow down here, this shadow down here is like way better than any shadow in the original. It's actually pretty crazy. So like so here you can see the Wind Waker is on the D-pad again, and again I'm not sure if this is like equipable or if it's like always on the D-pad. That's kind of like yet to be seen. And as far as like all the sword moves and pretty much everything you see in this trailer, the movement and everything regarding like fighting all seems exactly the same as the original, so like completely the same, unchanged. Right here, this is new. The grapple usually takes a lot longer to go around the thing, so whoops. Yeah, so like usually the grapple takes a really long time, but here it's really fast. So it looks like they decided to speed up that like animation right there. Or like, it's not like an animation difference, it's just like sped up. So it seems like they're speeding up a couple things. There's another thing that I noticed that they sped up that you'll see later. Okay, right here he's just walking with the pig. It looks like he's walking faster than normal right there. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's actually walking faster than normal, but maybe they changed the speed of the regular walk animation. This cutscene is like exactly the same as the original. Like all the animations and all these cutscenes completely unchanged. Alright, some interesting stuff is coming up.
What you just saw was The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker running on the Wii U system. The Wii U's version of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker features visuals rendered at 1080p that immerse you in the game like never before. We are also utilizing shaders on the Wii U to improve visual expression.
Look at the speed of the text here. It's like insanely fast. Seriously.
In the game like never before. We are also utilizing shaders on the Wii U to improve visual expression.
It's like so ridiculously fast, I don't even know what to say about it.
We think that with these improved visuals.
Okay, something I noticed here, if you look at the magic meter, it's like the standard green color, but later it's yellow, and I'm not sure why. Alright, okay, right here, it's like yellowish. I don't know if that's because of like, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's because like I don't know what that means. Is it because it's light here, so it's like the light's partially coming through the thing, or is it, I don't know what it means, but that's something I noticed. I don't know if it's like partially transparent or whatever. It's just interesting. I wasn't able to really tell what's going on with that.
Of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker takes place on the open seas. The player will control the wind using the item.
Okay, right here.
The Wind Waker, and
you instantly get to change the wind. You don't have to wait for the dun dun dun, and then you change the wind. Boom, change the wind, and you're like, you're already back playing like right away. So that's a nice change. A lot of people used to complain that changing the wind was really cumbersome. Also, they're showing this fast sailing mode. It looks really fast.
Today, I'd like to talk about
definitely faster than sail pumping.
Original GameCube version. In the original game, the player received an item called the Tingle tuner from the series' familiar character Tingle, which allowed you to connect the game with the Game Boy Advance system to experience assisted play from another player.
This was actually useful in speedrunning if you use the Tingle tuner, because you can buy certain items that speed up the game.
Tingle-related features to make them compatible with Wii U.
So this, if you look at what it says here, it lets you like draw stuff and send messages out in the game, and then you can find it from other players. But I'm not sure if they completely removed the functionality of the original Tingle tuner, which lets you like buy items from Tingle and that kind of thing. On this screen you can see different messages that you've like found or whatever, like different bottles you picked up. But notice there's also map and items. I'm guessing these are just your main inventory screen, and it has nothing to do with the Tingle map or the Tingle items. I think this is just purely separated. So maybe they just cut that content out of the game, the original Tingle tuner content. But it's interesting though, there's stuff like on Outset Island, the like you do Knuckles' quest, and then you can even take a pictograph of Knuckle, and that is only done through the Tingle tuner. So if they completely removed that, that is interesting. Also, if they remove the Tingle item that lets you heal, then if the zombie hover glitch is not patched out, then it would be much more limited. You would still be able to skip Helmrock, but that's about it. So that's just something. Okay, here, notice you can take 12 pictures with the pictograph instead of 3. So that's another very welcome change to the game.
Attach a screenshot from your game. We hope players will use this feature to connect with others and get the most enjoyment out of the game. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD will be released in October.
So that's pretty much it. That's all we've seen. That's pretty interesting stuff. Pretty much all the changes seem like really good. Oh, someone is linking a picture of the inventory. I have not seen it yet, so let's check that out. I'm gonna probably have to re-screen capture this, so let's try it. Okay, I will show this on stream. This is new to me. I did not see this at all. Alright, so what do we have here? Okay, so you can see on the gamepad you have items, map, and bottles. So this is the inventory screen. It looks like completely redesigned. And that, I guess, confirms what I said about the tingle items not being buyable anymore. So it looks like they scrapped that content, I guess, from the game. But it wasn't a huge part of the game, really, so it doesn't matter. It's not like a huge thing. But yeah. It doesn't look like you can equip items on the D-pad. It looks to me like you have your 3 buttons. When you're sailing, it looks like it just automatically puts the sail as like your A and B button. So it like knows, I guess, like what you need. It's basically key items, kind of like I thought. It's interesting though. I would like to point something out here that's interesting to me. So let me go back to the trailer. Oh boy, I have to recapture it. So with that knowledge now, something interesting that I noticed. Actually, it's right here. Look here. Right here, there's 30 bombs automatically equipped and the grapple hook automatically equipped. But you also have the grapple hook equipped here. So it looks like I guess that's weird. I guess it automatically equips the grapple bombs in Wind Waker while you're sailing. It automatically equips just the Wind Waker while you're walking around, and you could still equip those items here. But it looks like the Wind Waker is not equipable to a button anymore, only the D-pad. So, I don't know. I guess that kind of confirms what I thought, which is that you can change these 3 items at will, and then these are like key items that will always be available, like while you're sailing, and then while you're walking around, you can use the Wind Waker. So that's cool. So if I'm going back to that screenshot, okay. Yeah, there's another thing though. This is, I guess I don't know what's going on here actually, because there's bombs here, but they're not on the button, and he's sailing. And you would think that if he's sailing, bombs would automatically be equipped as one of the key items. So I guess we don't know. I guess we have no idea what's going on with the item equips. Fake? It's at e3.nintendo.com is the URL, so it's obviously not fake. But yeah, it might just be a bad mock-up. I would assume that, like, judging by this, I would assume that you should always have the cannon. So this doesn't really match up, but I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. That's pretty much my initial impressions. And I guess if I had to summarize what I think, it's that this looks like very much the same game, except prettier with minor improvements that would make the game more pleasant to play. And as far as speedrunning goes, it looks like these improvements to the game are not detrimental except for the removal of the tingle items. But that's only really truly detrimental if they do not patch the glitches. And that's something that remains to be seen. There are many glitches in Wind Waker that are very useful and cool, and they're very, very, very rare to come up in regular play. And also they don't harm, it's nothing harmful to the game. So basically what I'm thinking here is if they don't patch the glitches, it would be really fun to speedrun this, and I would enjoy doing that. If they do patch the glitches, then this turns into a pretty yet gimped version of the game as far as speedrunning goes, and it would be kind of unfortunate in my opinion. Because it looks beautiful, and I would love to stream this in 1080p for everybody and do speedruns of it. That would be pretty cool. And it looks so much like the same game, like just like like the physics of flying, the model of the leaf, the model of Link, like the model of the island, everything is like the same. So I'm hoping that they don't patch the glitches and make it different then, because then it would just be a gimped version. I would like to point out one thing as well, is that okay, the glitch storage that lets you super swim. Super swimming is obviously really hard to do, and it's kind of annoying in some ways, but it's also really cool in other ways, depending on how you look at it. Like, regardless of what you think about it, removing it from the game would really be bad for speedruns, because not just because of the coolness factor, but because in the game, after you get bombs, you have to go to Outset Island to get Nehru's Pearl. So you go south a little bit, and there's Northern Triangle Island, right? On Northern Triangle Island, you plant Din's Pearl, and then right next to there is Cyclos the Cyclone, and he, when you go into him, warps you to one of 8 random locations. It's basically the 9 spots you can warp to minus Mother and Child Isles. And one of the spots you can warp to is Outset, but those 8 spots are chosen at random. And in a speedrun, if you can't super swim, then the absolute fastest thing to do, even with this faster sailing, would definitely be to get sucked up into Cyclos and then hopefully pray for a 1 in 8 chance of ending up at Outset. So if the game patches the glitches, then that would be in the speedrun route if you're interested in speedrunning this game, which is the absolute worst type of luck that can be involved with speedrunning, is the type of luck where you have absolutely no control over anything and it can cost you minutes. And that's exactly the type of thing we're talking about. So it would actually be really detrimental to speedrunning if they patched that. And with Ocarina of Time 3D, they did patch things, except they patched them really poorly. Like, for example, they knew you could get into Bottom of the Well, so what they did was they made it so they just put a big boulder in front of it so you couldn't get in there. And you can still get in there early. It doesn't matter that they put a boulder there, but it's just like a really lazy, like, ugly fix. And I hope they don't apply the same logic to this game, because I don't want this to be a gimped version. It would be really cool if I could continue running on this version. Obviously, speedrunning is like the smallest possible, speedrunners is like the smallest possible demographic for a company to think about, which is why if it's so unimportant, I would hope that they just like don't even care. But I mean, I have videos on YouTube with like a lot of hits, and they show off a lot of these crazy things, and maybe Nintendo has caught wind of some of it, and it's like, oh, well, our game has like these glitches in it, we should fix that. And maybe they will, and then that would make me really sad. So, I don't know. It remains to be seen what goes on. And also, to keep this extremely relevant and current, tomorrow, the 12th, there's going to be a demo of this game. We don't know what the demo is like at all. The demo will be at certain Best Buy locations. So I'm thinking of going and hitting up one of these locations and playing the demo. And if I play the demo, then I could actually test some stuff out. But it's weird though. I'm not sure how comfortable I feel with like Best Buy employees and like some Nintendo rep or whatever like breathing down my neck or whatever as I'm like fucking around. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do that. But it's tomorrow, and I could also go on Saturday if I wanted to. So that's something. And another thing that concerns me as well is that when Ocarina of Time 3D had a demo, there was a demo for it in Europe. I mean, obviously they tried to patch a lot of stuff in Ocarina of Time 3D, but one thing that was really interesting to me is that when Ocarina of Time 3D had a demo, someone, a speedrunner, went and he tested the infinite sword glitch, and it worked. And he had a video of it on his little camera, and he uploaded that video to YouTube, and it got a lot of hits. When the game actually came out, the infinite sword glitch was completely removed from the game, even though it existed in the demo. So it's as if the video was seen, and then they were like, well, we should fix this. So I don't know. And I also feel like if I don't do anything tomorrow, someone else will. Someone else will go and test this stuff, even if I don't. I feel it's sort of inevitable that someone will try it. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I just hope that, like, judging by the rest of the philosophy of this game, where they don't even change Link's model, and it's just like exactly the same game, I would hope that they don't go back and fix these things that affect zero casual players and only make my life sadder. So please, do not patch the glitches. Please don't do that. It would be very awesome to speedrun this game, and I don't want to deal with cyclist luck, and I would love to stream this in glorious 1080p, and everyone could enjoy it. So we'll see. That's sort of my opinion on that's sort of my thoughts on how things stand right now with the game. And also Ocarina of Time 3D made me really sad, by the way, just because of all like the really half-assed patches and just gimped the game a lot. I was just like, well, dang. Like, if they would have left it alone, or if they would have like completely thoroughly patched it, I wouldn't have cared. But instead they just like did this kind of half-assed thing, like, oh, let's just get rid of this thing. And I kind of see this game going the same way, where they just sort of half-ass patch some of the glitches. And like, there are alternate methods to do some of these glitches and like different ways of doing them. For example, storage can be done with a Wind Waker dive or with forest water. So like, I could see them doing these weird half-assed fixes for some of these glitches, and then you can still do them in other ways, but it's just a gimped version of the game, and that would make me sad, because like, it does look really nice. I want to play it in 1080p and enjoy it with like all the original cool stuff you could do. So there you go. I guess that's all I have to say. I'll probably upload this to YouTube so I can see what other people have to say about it too. And thank you guys for watching this little live stream. I think I'm done streaming right now, actually. We'll see what happens in the days to come. Exciting times, I guess. And regardless what happens to this game, we have the original, so you know, no harm done by releasing this game. That's it.